All right, how about some New Gods news? Hadn't heard any in a while, and I was hoping that meant it was probably scrapped for hopefully a chance at being something better. But anyway, so here from Bounding into Comics, apparently there's a rumor that Steppenwolf will be returning for Ava DuVernay's New Gods film. It says the DCEU continuity is cluttered and a little confusing, well, to say the least. And Warner Brothers just doesn't know how to handle their properties. So anyway, according to We Got This Covered, and of course, grain of salt required, Justice League's villain Steppenwolf is set to return in the New Gods directed by Ava DuVernay. Yeah, well, hey, look, this is the first time for everything. Maybe she'll do well with this one. I don't know. Reportedly, he will be redesigned, and Ciarán Hinds is still the studio's top man to voice him. So, there you go. It'll sound like him, but it won't look like the one you saw in Justice League. They just want to forget that ever happened. Now, WB is allegedly counting on the soft reboot resulting from the Flash movie to be based on Flashpoint to retcon Justice League and all that stuff. And so there you go. I think, yeah, that's more than likely that will be the case. And so a lot of this stuff, just forget about all that. And they'll try to start fresh while keeping most of their stars in place because they've had some successes here with most notably Aquaman and Wonder Woman. So there they go. They'll go with that. And I don't know if they'll even bother with the story because Steppenwolf survived in the theatrical version of Justice League. He did not survive in the Snyder cut. Wonder Woman chomps his head off. So he loses and the parademons attack him and he goes through the boom tube and that's that. But it would seem if there was any connection at all, he would be on the outs with Darkseid, who doesn't take kindly to failure. But they might be, with the reboot, going back to the original storyline that Jack Kirby had put forth in his Fourth World Saga. So it says here, we have reason to believe it will mirror that version. So Steppenwolf's new look might match the source material, which I kind of thought maybe they should have gone with that in the get-go, because he had this sort of medieval look, green outfit, and that sort of thing. Later on, much later, they started, I think even like in the New 52, I think is when they started putting horns on his head and all that sort of stuff. It completely changed his look. There was a different new look that Jack Kirby did himself with the superpowers storyline and all that, but the original appearance was the green outfit and all that. So maybe they'll go for that in there. Yeah, this is the CGI came across as unfinished. Yeah, it sure did. So maybe they won't. Maybe Ciarán Hinds himself. They'll just put him in makeup and in the costume, and there he'll be, Steppenwolf, and they'll have that whole because there's all that material there. It wasn't completely fleshed out the way Jack Kirby did. He was a master artist, but not quite an idea man, but not quite good at plotting as far as our dialogue and whatnot, and structuring a story as a writer could. He needed a partner for that, but he was pretty burnt by past partnerships. But anyway, so We Got This Covered said their sources are reliable because they were correct on the Green Lantern series for HBO Max and the Rise of Skywalker spoilers regarding Rey and Palpatine. So there might really be more credibility to this, but not a whole lot has come out lately, and all we know is that Tom King, oh jeez, and DuVernay are working on this script. Well, gee, I hope it's not going to be a bait and switch like his Mr. Miracle was. Which, boy, it was going good for a while there. And then, you got me. You fooled me. But never again. So, yeah, not going for Adam Strange. For all I know, the Adam Strange series is pretty good. But, anyway, so if they followed that, but from the only other thing I heard was that it was going to be more about the female Furies, and it was going to, men are terrible and bad, and that's all it's going to be. It's mostly going to be another, Birds of Prey, Ghostbusters, what have you. It's just going to just do that, then it's dead on arrival. And the male characters will just be there to be the bad men that need to get their balls kicked in. And Mr. Miracle will just be sort of hanging around while Big Barda would be the main hero of the film, you know. So maybe it should just be called Mr. Miracle and not New Gods, because New Gods was a series unto itself. It mostly centered around Orion, and I haven't heard any mention of Orion at all. And considering his personality and whatnot, can you imagine how much they would trash that? So I'm not very hopeful, but yeah, poor Syrian Hines, you know, he made mention he was a bit upset about how Justice League turned out. He said, that's not how it was supposed to be, you know. And then they do it to him again for a crappy New Gods. That would be pretty bad. But even worse would be for the DCEU overall. And New Gods, I mean, there's potential there to make things of it. Other artists have and whatnot, and done well. You could have a whole other franchise out in space and all that type of stuff with these characters. But I'm dubious. But hopefully I'll be proven wrong and we're able to do a good enough job. Maybe she has the potential to be another Patty Jenkins. I am dubious, but that would be the best outcome for this. But so anyway, whatever news this is, it's just Syrian Hines will still be Steppenwolf. So there you go. They're trashing some of DCEU, but not all. And definitely a reboot is on the way. All right, thank you for watching and listening. Say, why not like and subscribe, and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores that have plenty of goodies for you, most notably my comic book Night over at IndiePlanet.com. Oh, yeah. And you can catch my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, over at RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos at BitChute.